All right, couple announcements. As you know, it was announced we extended Pat Ricard. Very happy with that. Pat's done a great job and is a real factor for us, and we're very fortunate and blessed to have him for the next couple of years. Activated Brendan Trawick off of the, which was asked earlier, so we went ahead and did it. So we didn't wait. I didn't really know what we were going to do, to be honest with you, but I knew he was going to be up this week. So he's up, and anticipate him probably playing. And then we had to release, unfortunately, Bennett Jackson, who was doing a really good job for us, and really liked Bennett. And unfortunately went to the Jets, back to the Jets, so we play them next week. And that's where we're at. Okay, what do you have, question-wise?
It was shown that Pope Francis now has an autographed jersey by Lamar and yourself. Is it just a case of...
I heard he asked, you know. No, I'm just kidding.
Is he just going to have fans at high places, or...?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I heard he knows what American football is, though. My brother actually met him in Rome a couple years ago, so I guess they're tight. I don't know, but it's great. It's you know, Baltimore is the home of the Catholic Church, Roman Catholic Church. I first started here in the New World and here in Baltimore, so it's an honor to have Pope Francis here, obviously, especially as a Catholic. I appreciate that, and it's kind of neat. We'll see if he's wearing his jersey anytime soon.
Last year, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson both got to the game when you guys played, and we see how Lamar Jackson's taking off. What do you see some of the strengths of Josh Allen over the past year?
Yeah, I'd say Josh looks good. You know, he's really developed well. They're doing a great job with him there, developing him and building the offense around him. He does a lot of really. He's built around his skill set. You know, he's a big, strong arm thrower. Sits in the pocket. He'll make every throw. He'll hold the ball to make the throws. He'll scramble out of the pocket and make plays with his legs. He leads the NFL in yards after contact. I think he averages 6.8 yards after contact as a quarterback. That's pretty remarkable. He's a hard runner to bring down, so that's going to be a big challenge for us. He's a good player, doing a great job for him. He's one of the reasons they're 9-3.
You don't want Lamar to lead the league in yards after contact.
Yes, that's a very good point. We don't want that. That's not the goal. Maybe after missed tackles, but not after contact.
Does his ability to scramble, how much does that affect how you attack as far as pass rush? Does that change how you rush the passer, just because it seems like he is very apt to run?
Right. Well, I think Joe Cullen does a great job of teaching the different nuances of that. We have various pass rushing rules and patterns that we use. Joe builds that into the game plan every week. Our guys are very diligent about learning it. Russell Wilson would be a little different than Josh, different than Tom Brady, Deshaun Watson. They all have their nuances, and Joe really goes over the guys pretty thoroughly with that. And I think we've done a good job of that so far. How we do, Josh is different. You know, he's different than the other guys, so it'll be interesting to see how we do against him.
When you look at Buffalo as a whole and see the record of where they are, they're only a game behind you guys. Is that kind of the message? Like we're fighting for the same thing they are at this point?
Oh, it's probably part of it, but I don't think that's the main message. You know, the main message is that they're in our way. You know, just like any opponent is week to week, and the message is how good they are. And the message is just it's more about the game plan. It's more about what they do, offense, defense, and special teams, their players, their schemes, and preparing to play the game. That really is what we spend our time with.
With Patrick Ricard, what specific ways have you seen, offense or defense, that he's kind of elevated his play this year?
Well, I just think it's what he does. You know, he's gotten better across the board. I think he's improved in every area. We probably used him more this year than ever before. He's certainly a great fit for what we do offensively. He's played a lot of defense, too. He's played well on defense, too. We've had to manage that more than last year in terms of, because he's played more on offense, we've had to manage his defensive reps more this year. Probably that would be a good difference. And he's more involved in the passing game. You know, he's caught some balls. So all those things that just are part of, I think, of his expanded role.
John, with Ricard, and I know he's going to be a restricted guy, but with him getting extended, pretty much every player on your offense except Seth Roberts is signed through next season. How important is the continuity and kind of building a young core? You know, obviously they're all contributing this year, but just for, you know, years ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely part of our plan. It doesn't just mean offense. I think we'd like to do the same thing on defense and special teams as much as we can. You want to hold on to the guys that as much as you can. You know, we like our guys, and sometimes it's not possible because of the financial, you know, situations that happen. But it's a big part of our. I think we're happy with that situation on offense. I know Eric is. I know I am, and you know, hopefully we can do more of that.
John, just because you hired him from Buffalo, David Culley, now 12 games. What have you seen as the difference? Where does kind of his influence show up on the offense?
David Culley, right. His influence shows up in the offense, I think, across the board. You know, first of all, he's a great leader. You know, Coach Culley is a high-energy guy. You know, he's a great – you guys see him on the practice field. You know how he takes charge out there and has an influence, I think, over every player in our football team. That's what I like about him most. He can relate to every guy in the team. Offense, defense, special teams, offensive line, defensive line. He's involved in a lot of ways with all of our players. I think that's just probably the number one thing. It's a great trait. Also, in our offense, you know, he's a very experienced coach. Run game, pass game, all the different things, RPOs. He's been in great systems, of course, with Andy Reid. So he's got a great feel for that, and I know G-Row leans on him very much in terms of putting stuff together. And then the last probably part of it is just his great teacher, great motivator of his guys, great teacher. The wide receivers are playing really well. They're doing things that a lot of wide receivers don't do well, you know, in terms of the unselfish stuff. And David's done a great job of. I think one of the measurements of a great coach is the ability to get guys to do the things that, you know, it's not normal that players would want to do, right? The hard things, that's what the great coaches probably do the best.
Coach, John Brown, obviously a guy you guys are familiar with. You talk about what you see with Buffalo, how they're using him, and I guess the threat of him with Allen, with the ability to throw the ball deep.
Yeah, they're using him really well. They're doing a great job with him and with Beasley as well. Those are the two top targets. I think they spread it around with everybody. Singletary's doing a good job getting, and the young tight end as well, 88. So they're all doing a good job. But John's their guy. You know, he's the guy downfield, the guy in the crossing routes, zone or man coverage. He's just been an explosive factor for them. So he's one of the targets that we've got to definitely get stopped.
John, now that we are getting all of this attention, what aspect of our team do you feel is going unnoticed?
You know, I just don't even really think about that. I would like for all the aspects to go unnoticed, you know. And that would be my goal, that we would fly under the radar. Why you drop your head? It's a good question. It's a very good question. But I haven't been successful of tamping that down as much as I'd like. You know, I think all of our guys deserve credit. You know, the main thing to me is that the players, you know, get credit. You know, the players are the ones out there playing. They're the ones out there making the plays and winning the games. You know, and it's a player's game. It's a player's game. It always has been. On game day is when it's a player's day, and that's when the game is won. So I'm just happy with the way those guys are playing.
Follow up on that. Is it? I don't want to use the word too much positivity, but you're being talked about as the Coach of the Year candidate. You have a quarterback as an MVP candidate. You guys know where you are in the standings. Is it too much for you? I mean, in terms of inhaling it all, is it something you guys feel like you can handle, or are you turning the TVs off and telling guys to ignore what we have to say?
Well, just to play off of your choice of words, which is always most interesting, we don't inhale, you know. I think that says it all. But yeah, we're not. It's just not something that I know our guys don't care. Our guys don't care. We're not falling for that. You know what I mean? And we know that that's kind of a trap, and we're not interested. Our guys got beat up enough. So, you know, we use that too to our advantage. So, you know, we're not going to fall for the bait, as we said last week.
Kim Jones from NFL Network, and I haven't been here in a while, so I'll apologize in advance. But with Lamar, since the first day you got to coach him, is there an area that he's come the farthest in terms of every player in the NFL has to grow and learn? Is there one area where he's been best in that in your mind?
You know, he really hasn't. Have been asked that question a lot, and I really think the right answer is because of the position he plays. You can't be a one-area player at quarterback, and really not any position, but especially the quarterback position. It's the hardest position to play in sports, I think. The most goes with it, physically, mentally, handling situations, all the things a quarterback has to do. We could run the list here. It's almost mind-boggling what the quarterback has to deal with. So the quarterback has to improve dramatically as a young player in every area in order to go out there and have a chance to be successful, and that's what I think Lamar's done the best. I think he's done a great job across the board of improving every part of his game, and that's where he deserves a lot of credit.
Either live or when you watch tape, do you ever say, wow?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, regularly. Yeah, absolutely. Every day. Every day.
John, the departure of Weddle and Suggs and Mosley, there was a question of where the leadership was going to come from. Mark Ingram's leadership is off the charts. Are you getting the leadership from where you thought it was going to come, or are there other areas that you're getting it from?
Yeah, both. You know, it's been from the guys you thought you'd get it from, and then it's been in other areas. You know, Mark wasn't a guy that I really knew coming in, although Ozzie had a great feel for Mark as a leader and a person, and he was very positive about that. But you never, with Mark, you gotta see it to believe it. I think. You know, he's just off the charts that way. Post game in the locker room, some of what you see and some of what you don't see. You know, we don't let all of it go out, do we, Kevin? And then just all of it. So, I think across the board, I think some young guys have really stepped up and led. We have leadership everywhere. You know, every single guy, in my opinion, has an opportunity to lead in their own way, and every single guy has a responsibility to follow as appropriate. You know, and I do believe our guys have found that formula really well.
John, I know you've talked about trying to block out the noise, but I mean, this team had certain goals heading into the season, and if you win in Buffalo, clinch a playoff spot. Is that something that will be mentioned to the team this week?
No, I haven't mentioned that. You know, I think we know the goal is to win the game, and what follows with that is what follows with that. You know, so you know, I did mention to the team. I think I said, "Where are we?" You know, we're nowhere until we get there. You know, then when we get there, we'll be there, and we'll take it from there. How's that? That's actually pretty good. I didn't say it quite that well to the guys, so yeah. Hope you recorded that.
So why do you think that culturally we place quarterbacks in such a high rarefied position in all the sports? I mean, you talked a little bit about it's the hardest position in sports, but there's also something about it that sort of elevates it beyond sports, whether it's movies or entertainment or our way we look at it. Why do you think that is?
That's a great question. I haven't given that a lot of thought. It's very deep. My guess off the top of my head would be that it's because I think we all recognize how hard it must be to do it. You know, play quarterback in the backyard, you know, with your friends, and it's not even easy. So that's probably why, I guess.
John, last week Greg said that you wet the footballs to prepare for the rain. I'm curious, as it gets colder, I know it's not supposed to be freezing in Buffalo, but are there other things you do to prepare for the elements like that?
Well, you know, we have wind coming tomorrow. I'm happy about that. It's supposed to be some wind in Buffalo. I think you just take it as it comes. You know, that's really all you can do.
Hey, John, Lamar, there were 2 roughing the passer calls on him Sunday, and there was one late hit they called it and then they didn't count it. Whether within the rules or at the edge of the rules, do you have any level of concern about teams wanting to take out your quarterback?
Sure. I mean, I don't think it's new. You know, I don't really believe that anybody wants to. I don't think that they want to hurt another player. Certainly never admit it. No, I don't think that takes place. I don't believe it does. I think they play hard, and I think they want to stop your team. They want to stop your good players. We want to do the same thing on defense. And as I said, at some point, it's our job to protect our quarterback. It's of course his job to protect himself, and he's done a really good job of that. And it's the official's job to, you know, officiate the game according to the rules, and you trust them to do that. So that's where we put our faith on that part of it.
John, I know you guys have always believed in Chuck Clark, but how much progress do you feel like he's made in getting the start day and week in and week out, where he knows his role and he knows where he's gonna be?
Yeah, A+. Chuck has been an A+ as far as that goes. He's played the position. He's handled every aspect of it. And he has a lot of responsibility. I mean, you're right. He's a signal caller. He's kind of the quarterback in some ways of the defense, and he's done it just exceptionally well. And I think he's established himself as an NFL starting safety, and then and a good one, you know. And now it's kind of his beginning that way. He takes it from here.
Jim, what do you see is the biggest challenge in the final stretch of the season?
The biggest challenge is to finish. You know, we have to finish. We've got to finish everything. We've got to finish practice. We've got to finish weightlifting sessions. We've got to finish. For some of our guys that need to gain weight, they need to finish lunch. you know, before they move on to the next thing. But we need to finish the season, you know, and then the regular season, and then take it from there.
All right.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, John.